If we are a 1 Peter chapter 2 Christian, let me go back all the way over to the Psalms, chapter 32. The blessedness of forgiveness. There's a blessedness in forgiveness. Listen to this. Blessed is he whose transgressions is forgiven, whose sins are covered. Never was a man had any more sin than this man right here that you're looking at. Blessed is the man unto whom the Lord imputeth not iniquity, and in whose spirit there is no guile. The only reason there's not guile in my spirit now is God took it out. Because I was the guileless man that ever lived. I had sin and deceit embedded in me to the core. Verse 3. When I kept silent, my bones waxed old through my roaring all the day long. For day and night thy hand was heavy upon me. My moisture is turned into the drought of summer. Selah, he says, pause. Look back at that life that you were in. And thank God that you're out of it. I acknowledged my sin unto thee, and mine iniquity have I not hid. That was my knowledge, was I knew I was a sinner. What was my iniquity? It was all of the wickedness that I did. I said, I will confess my transgressions unto the Lord, and thou forgivest the iniquity of my sin. Selah. I had sin, but my sin was iniquity sin. It was a wicked kind of sin, a sin that stunk. For this shall everyone that is godly pray unto thee in the time when they mayest be found. Surely in the floods of great waters they shall not come nigh unto him. Wow. The floods of great waters of sin that we lived in, we would not come nigh unto Jesus, unto God. Thou art my hiding place. Thou shalt preserve me from trouble. Thou shalt compass me about with songs of deliverance. Those are things that you learn after you're saved and you come out of where you were. And at the end of that verse, he says, Selah, meaning it's the end of the thing. That is the end of it. Seal it up. That's the end of it. I will instruct thee and teach thee in the way which thou shalt go. I will guide thee with mine eye. The eye of the Lord is this book. This Bible is the eye of the Lord. As we read it, his eye is looking at us. And as we read it, we can see him looking at us and saying, don't do that anymore. Be ye not as the horse or as the mule, which have no understanding, whose mouth must be held in with bits and bridles, lest they come near unto thee. Wow. He's saying, if you're a Christian, how long have I got to keep a bit in your mouth? How long have I got to pull the reins to turn you? How long will you learn? I remember my daddy, he had two old horses, but my daddy had trained them horses. If I pull that bit, it's going to hurt. But if I touch you with the rein, I let the rein come down and touch your back, that's the way I want you to turn. And he'd touch the back of that horse would turn. He didn't have to pull the bit. The horse got smart enough to know that bit hurt. But that little tap on his back with that rein meant turn. And he'd start turning. Many sorrows shall be the wicked, but he that trusteth in the Lord, mercy shall compass him about. The mercy of my dad with that horse, just touching him on the back and him turning. That's the way God is with us. He doesn't want to pull that bit. He wants to deliver us from that bit. He wants to take the bit out. and say, I'm not going to put the bit in there. I'm going to just put the rein on, and you follow it. Be glad in the Lord, and rejoice, ye righteous, and shout for joy, all ye that are upright in heart. He is talking here to the Christian that he can take the bit out of his mouth and gently steer him. God took the bit out of my mouth the day he saved me. And he said, I'm not going to have to pull that bit anymore. All I want you to do is be obedient. You be obedient to what I show you in the book. And what he showed me was deliverance. I shouldn't say that he didn't have to pull the bit, because I kept smoking for a year after I was saved, and I consider that the biggest sin in my life. Jesus answered and said unto her, the woman at the well, if thou knewest the gift of God, and who it is that saith unto thee, give me to drink, thou wouldest have asked of him, and he would have given you living water. Have you got the living water yet? Have you been able to get the bit removed from your life? So that God has to keep pulling that bit, pulling that bit, pulling that bit? Have you come to the place of submission where you say, God, I submit? Let me show you what he said to the woman. The woman unto him, Sir, I have nothing to draw from the well of the deep. Sir, she said, thou hast nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. From whence then hast thou that living water? Art thou greater than the father Jacob, who gave us this well, and drank thereof himself, and his children, and his cattle? Jesus answered and said unto her, Whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again. But whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst. But the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water, springing up unto everlasting life. Wow. I drank from that well November 5th, 3 o'clock in the morning, 1972. I have never had to go back and dip that bucket down in that same well again. For the first time I got that living water, it was enough. Now I have had to refill, and learn. The woman saith unto him, Sir, give me this water, that I thirst not, hear the draw. Jesus said unto her, Go call thy husband, and come hither. And the woman answered and said unto him, I have no husband. And Jesus said unto her, listen to this, Thou hast well said, I have no husband. For thou hast had 5 husbands, and he whom now thou hast now is not thy husband. And that he saith truly. And the woman said unto him, Sir, I perceive that thou art a prophet. Our fathers worshipped in this mountain, and ye say that Jerusalem is that place where men ought to worship? Jesus said unto her, listen to this, Woman, believe me, the hour cometh when ye shall neither in this mountain, nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. Ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshippers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth, for the Father seeketh such to worship him. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. In spirit and in truth. Listen to this a little bit here further. The woman saith unto him, I know the Messiah cometh, which is called Christ. When he is come, he will tell us all things. Jesus saith unto her, I that speak unto thee am he. Woo! Have you heard him say that to you yet? Look at what the woman did. And upon this came the disciples, and marveled that he talked with the woman. And ye now said, What speakest thou? Or why talkest thou with her? The woman then left her water pot, went her way unto the city, and saith unto the men, Come and see a man which told me all things that I ever did. Is not this the Christ? Then they went out of the city, and came unto him. In the meanwhile his disciples prayed him, saying, Master, eat. But he saith unto them, I have meat to eat that ye know not of. Therefore said the disciples one to another, Hath some man brought him aught to eat? Jesus said unto them, My meat is to do the will of him that sent me, and to finish his work. Say not ye, there are yet 4 months to come the harvest? Behold, I say unto you, lift up your eyes and look on the field, for they are white already unto harvest. And he that reapeth receiveth wages, and he that gathereth unto life eternal, that both he that soweth and he that reapeth may rejoice together. And herein is the saying true, one soweth and another reapeth. I sent you to reap, that whereof ye bestowed no labor. Other men labored, and ye are entered into their labors. What he's saying is, before you guys came, there were some other guys I sent out, and they were reaping. And you are now reaping harvest. And many of the Samaritans of the city believed on him for the saying of the woman, which testified, He told me all that I ever did. That's what she said. He told me all that I ever did wrong too. And I came to him, and he forgave me for all of it, just like he did this woman. And told her to go and sin no more. Marry the man she's with now, and don't change again. And stay there. And he forgave her for being married 5 times. He forgave her for all she ever did. She had no past. When Jesus forgave her, she had no past. It was gone. It was present. And she was to live and follow him in the present. And to be happy with the man she had and never do what she was doing again. But to continue in a Christian life. And that's what we're supposed to do. We'll see you next time. Right. Bye-bye.